Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 9th episode of your favorite St. Louis hockey podcast, the 5-Minute Major Podcast. We're happy to be back. It was one hell of a week of hockey, dude. Josh and I are so excited to do a quick recap of all the hot topics and all the games, and then update you on our overall prediction records. And then, of course, preview the Blues home opener on Tuesday against the Wild, October 15th. Josh, how was your week?
It was good. Flew by. We were pretty busy at work, but happy to be on a 6-day break away from work. So I'm gonna enjoy my time off. And then this is one heck of a week of hockey. I am going to every single home game this week, starting Tuesday, going Thursday, and I will be there Saturday. So we will have a lot of in-person coverage this week, and I am pumped.
Yeah, that makes me jealous. I only get to see one, but I know we split them up a certain way, so I can't get mad about it. But no, that's fucking awesome, man. They're the hottest of topics, right? Like this whole week has had so many amazing games, some brutal injuries to see. Luckily none of them are like too crazy. Just some outstanding hockey from people that you've probably never heard of if you aren't like a hardcore hockey fan. But let's hop into it. I wanted to start with, of course, the injuries, get them out of the way quick. Supposedly Celebrini got put on the IR, which is shocking. Unless he just got banged up, but the Blues aren't physical. So I'm so confused on what he did. I know he like tweaked something on a breakaway in the preseason, maybe it got retweaked. But when you're on the IR, I think you miss a whole week. So
yeah.
He's technically week to week, right? So
yeah, I mean, he looked fine in that game, but it's probably clearly they rushed him back, which I think is stupid at this point in the season. Should have let him heal up once, and then you're not dealing with this crap. But San Jose is being San Jose, so to the injury reserve, hopefully it's a quick recovery.
Yeah. It sucks to see. He had a really good game.
And he's going to be good.
And then he realized that you're in the NHL, and you're going to lose some games on some crazy comebacks. Moving on to Barkov, the captain of the Florida Panthers, he took a nasty spill trying to protect the lead in a 2-1 game on an empty net. He got helped off. He didn't get carted off, which is always good to see.
He got carried off, though.
He got carried. It's bad, but
yeah.
Luckily it wasn't anything as serious as surgery needed, so he's only out for 2 to 3 weeks. That is huge for them. They've had kind of an okay start, so they need their captain. Just like every other team, you hate to see it. Just like Gabe Landeskog in Colorado. You just don't want him out long term like that. So.
It's a freakish end of preseason, beginning of season with a lot of injuries this year, and I don't like it because it is really screwing up some hockey games. Because Celebrini, he's going to be a stud. He's fun to watch. As much as I don't want to admit it, it was a shit first goal, but he's going to be good. He's got really good hockey sense. Barkov, you love him. Like, I don't feel like there's a person that would say, I hate Barkov. Like, there's really not much to hate. Plays a good game, plays 2 ways. So, I hate it, but hopefully speedy recoveries on a lot of guys, and we get this league up and going and getting the feet under them. And it's still early season. We see who's conditioned, who's kind of playing with some injuries right now, but it's a long season. So, guys got to heal up because it's only going to get worse from here.
I know. Yeah. Speaking of condition, the Wild are playing the Jets right now, or I think they just ended.
They lost.
So the Wild just lost an OT to the Jets. Conditioning wise, you could tell that Matt Boldy is like a step ahead of everybody right now, which could be huge for the Wild, even though they just lost. But that's one game. Overall, he's looked amazing, and we'll get to him eventually. Okay, moving on, we got a cool little stat here. Kyle Connor of the Jets is the first NHLer to score in 7 consecutive season opening games.
He's a stud. Like, I want him so bad. Underrated, underappreciated, hidden away in the land of Winnipeg. Free him. Let him go play for a good team, damn it.
Hey, they look good right now, but we did shit on them, and I still think they're not gonna make the
Yeah,
playoff. But yeah, amazing for Kyle Connor. He is always setting the tone for them. Their best goal scorer by far,
for sure.
sniper. Let's get into a couple of the games. There's some hot topics. Utah, dude, this
Oh my
team,
God. What,
like
like,
in Arizona, obviously you don't notice it because no one gave a fuck about
yeah.
Arizona. Like the hardcore hockey fans were like, they got a lot of young guys that are studs. But now that they're in Utah and everyone's talking about it, like everyone's like, holy shit, they're really good. Like, yeah, no shit. And they
Yeah.
started off the year 3-0. They just beat the Rangers in overtime in Madison Square Garden. Clayton Keller had one of the nastiest backhands over Shesterkin's shoulder maybe he's ever let up.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting.
Keller has found a new level this year. It's like, I don't know if it's an ownership group that supports you, if it's just getting that C on your chest, but he is playing at a brand new level of hockey for him, and I love it because
Yeah,
Clayton is a stud, and we love Clayton, St. Louis boy for sure. But right now he is glimpses of superstarism, and I love it because it's good for Utah. But I'm also tired of all these expansion teams or new teams doing really well starting out because the Blues had to struggle for a couple of years there. We still made the Cup Finals, but got our ass kicked.
yeah.
But like, come on, Utah though. Yeah, I think the truth of the matter is when you have an ownership group that is like, here's a blank check, let's go win games. They're turning it around really quick, and Bill Armstrong's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, and I mean, give them props for drafting well too.
Oh yeah,
Throughout all these shit years, so they finally have these kids that are ready to play. I feel really bad for Arizona fans. Like they're probably most of them are probably like, that's our team, go Utah.
mm-hmm.
But a lot of them are like diehard Coyotes. Like they'll never appreciate how they lost their team again. I feel bad for you guys. Just root for them, man. It's the same team. Like they're super fun to watch. Like
Mm-hmm.
probably the most fun I've seen so far this season is Utah.
For sure.
And Dylan Gunther, this kid, he just signed a ticket at like 20 years old, and he's leading the league in goals through 3 games. He has like 6 or 7. Like, what is he doing? He's a fucking stud too. Only 21, 22. Like, he's gonna be a steal of a contract.
Yeah.
Most of those contracts they have are gonna be steals by the time that, like, they're a playoff team, either maybe sneaky this year, like we've talked about, or I feel like next year is just like inevitable.
Next year they're fully a top contender in the Central Division because I think we're seeing some of the champs are starting to struggle. Yeah, and there might be a shifting of rankings here in the Central Division over this year and into next.
Agreed, and that's a great segue into one of those teams, and that's Colorado.
Awful.
They've just looked really bad, and I think they're kind of going through what the Blues went through with a retool post Stanley Cup. And of course, Gabe Landeskog's out, but they traded Bo Byram for Middlestad because they needed a center. And honestly, they barely have 2 lines.
Yeah, they have 2 lines. Their bottom 6 is probably one of the worst bottom 6 in the NHL.
It's not like
they used to be able to roll 4 deep.
Oh yeah,
and right now it is painful to watch, and I kind of hate it because Nathan McKinnon is losing his mind, which is comical. But like Mikko Rantanen, like you have guys that are studs, but they can't carry a whole team, and they clearly can't outscore everyone this year already. So terrible game right now. Cam Makar, are we wasting some years right now? I don't know what the future for Colorado. I think they'll figure it out, or they're going to have to be selling some pieces to retool this a little bit quicker. So first piece is get a goalie.
Yeah, I think their leadership
is trash.
Their leadership needs to wake up, and their coach, like Bednar's, got to stop protecting this guy. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I understand like the mental side of it. Like, that's our guy. Like, I have no other choice, type of thing. Like, but at the end of the day, they need to sit down and be like, if we can't stop pucks, we can't score 6 every game. Like Nathan McKinnon's not going to get 100 goals, and Rantanen can't get 100 goals. So they got to figure it out.
Honestly,
I'm going to read.
An option I wouldn't be surprised is Husso hit the waiver wire today. Would Husso be a better option for them? Because I mean, I mean, he's going to have a better than 7.75 goals against. So, like, good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. Georgiev just looks as awful as I've always said he is.
You called it.
But even worse.
Yeah.
Which is surprising to me because I thought he was the worst starter in the league at some point. But I don't know. Husso would be an interesting choice for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how I feel about him. He's kind of sporadic, and he's dealt with an injury, and I don't know. He had a great end of the preseason, and then the season opener was brutal for him. So I don't know. We'll see. They have so many goalies in Detroit. Shit, just trade him somebody.
But let's be honest,
for like Talbot.
You're going with older goalies. You're going Talbot and Lyon, Lyon's 31.
Yeah, so. but they've Talbot has proven himself a playoff goalie. Like they need to just roll with him. But Georgiev, here's your stats through 2 games: 7.75 goals against, a 68% save percentage. He got pulled in both games. Noonan came in. He faced 17 total shots in those 2 games, and he let in 4 as well. So I said he might be the answer. So far, he's not. Like, if he needs to wake up, right? He needs to also be like, holy fuck, like the starter's shit right now. This is my chance to take that job. Like I said, like this is it. This is the prime example of a Noonan taking full role if he can, but so far he's been shit too. I mean, who knows? I haven't really watched any of their games too much. A lot of the people online are blaming the goaltending. I would assume there's some lack of D here and there. There has to be.
I don't know though. That's a solid D group though.
It is. It is. But you can't say that every goal is a goalie's issue, you know. So that's me giving Georgiev and Noonan the benefit of the doubt, even though I don't want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been awful for them, man. Yeah, we'll see what they do next. I would love to see them go after a goalie they need to, even though I'm okay with them sucking. It gives us a better chance of making it. Speaking of sucking. The Western Conference champions of last year, the Edmonton Oilers, have started the season 0-2 at home. They've been outscored 11-2 at home through 2 games versus the Jets and the Blackhawks. Brutal stuff overall from them. I don't know what's going on. We already know that Skinner's a liability. He was never the answer in net, but they went with him because he's cheaper and they needed to pay Draisaitl. McDavid has 1 point. Draisaitl has 1 point through the 2 games. I think they're playing tonight against the Flames right now. We'll have to.
Yeah,
if you could look that up and see where they're at right now. But we're both -3s through those 2 games. Skinner just as bad as Georgiev, bro. 5 goals on 13 shot attempts. He got pulled in game 1. It was just. They look like a shell of themselves to start. I don't know why. Like, what's happening?
We're in the second intermission. It is 1-1 between Flames and Oilers. Jeff Skinner got on the score sheet.
Good
first
for him.
Goal. And McDavid got an assist on it.
There you go. Okay, so McDavid's up to 2 points to -2. And we said he was going to get 15 through 3. True. We said he was going to have 15 games through 3 or 15 points through 3 games. So I don't.
Not happening, sadly.
Not right now. Hopefully, I mean, he will step it up. Duh. It's Connor McDavid. He's the best player in the world. And Edmonton will figure out eventually, but right now, yikes.
He's still a -3.
Okay.
Yep.
So he got off the ice when he scored. That's okay. You don't need the plus minus doesn't matter. It's the points, bub.
It's fine. You know, it'll all work out, my guy.
Oh my god. And I looked up Pickard and he came in for Skinner in that first game. You know, he's backup goalie. He's nothing crazy either. Like, it's the same situation as Colorado. Couple great forward lines. Defense is fucking dog shit in Edmonton specifically, and then goaltending is also dog shit. So they got to look at somebody too. There's so many options to trade but it's so hard to get a good goalie right now because they're all expensive as fuck. We've seen that with Swayman and Olmark, and now Shesty.
You
These other
could have afforded a goalie if you didn't pay Darnell Nurse $9 million.
Okay, yes. That is like the one true hurt to them was fucking that contract up because they could have gone after like a legit goaltender.
Yeah.
And honestly, the year that Fleury was getting shopped around, why didn't they go after Marc-Andre Fleury?
Yeah.
It would have been great. Like, imagine Fleury in that cup run last year. Like,
they might have
maybe been the difference.
Uh-huh.
So, just crazy in Edmonton. I hope they figure it out. I feel bad for McDavid as I always do, but right now it's looking grim.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's good for the rest of the Western Conference, though. So
it's true.
We'll
it's helping the Blues.
It's early as fuck. We know this, but we have to talk about how ass it is. Yeah, I feel bad. Good for the Blues. Speaking of the Blues, we just had a 3-game road trip to start the season. Little slight round of applause for a 2-1 start for a team that had so many questions going in. We still have a few, coming up that we'll talk about, but so far,
I feel great.
Pretty fucking good.
It was awesome.
Like, for what it was. Yeah. Tell me how you feel.
First off, not mad about the loss to Vegas. Hell of a game. A lot of grit, a lot of heart, and we were in it till the end. So the biggest thing I think that we can take away is that we beat San Jose. We stuck with a powerhouse Vegas team. Yet again, they're still good. And then we handled business after a rough start in Seattle. So 2 comeback wins. We were in it till the end with Vegas. I think going this 2-1-0 in the stretch in a long road trip where you're on the East Coast?
West
Coast. God.
It's been a long week for you, bud.
Yeah. Well, good trip. You're on the West Coast. You dominated a strong 3 teams, some youth, some powerhouse team, and then Seattle that's not a bad team either. So I'm happy. We're right where we need to be. And I think this team is only going to get better. You still have to take the fact that there are 6 new faces on this roster. They're still getting to know each other, and they're only going to get better from here.
Agreed. I think the chemistry aspect is a big point to make. Being through 3 games, 2-1, coming back almost all 3 times to win is huge for morale in the locker room that shows the fans that they don't quit, which is something last year that I feel like everyone was like, we don't play full 60 and pisses us off. And now it's like, okay, we don't really play full 60, but we'll come back and we'll win. And hopefully they can just play a full 60 and win normally. Like, we'll see what they do in the home opener. I loved the first road trip.
Yeah.
Fun to the end every game. It looks different now. It feels different. Nothing better than building that chemistry. Our top skaters, dude, Kyrou and Bush and Thomas look fantastic. Like,
Bush looks out for blood this year.
Bush is scoring some fucking goals. Kyrou's been consistent the first 3 games, which is huge. And he feels like he's back checking more, which is huge. On the back end, Broberg, you mentioned it, dude. He is the X factor pickup from this offseason. Like, if he doesn't pan out, then yikes. But
everything is advertised.
He's looked great, fast, long reach, breaking up plays in the D zone, and able to like make great breakout plays and even get into the rush a little bit himself. He's kind of eager to get points, and that's something we need on the back end. And we've done that so far, like substantially more than last year already. I think the only downside was like the defense overall, kind of like we did look
we're shaky,
a little slow at times. Like Parayko and Letty look awful.
Parayko's getting up in the ice though. Like I can't he's moving the puck up. But he needs the stability of Letty, and Letty does not have the stability right now.
I think Letty just needs to get his legs, and he'll be back. But he's just making weird decisions, like especially on the BK. We're lacking physicality and speed out of the zone. We're kind of just standing around, and Letty was the main reason we got 2 scored on us in San Jose. He was just so out of position, looking the wrong way type shit. But if they can pick it up, that's our top pair.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can pick it up, then that would be huge, because that means we probably wouldn't have been coming back as bad against some of these teams. But it was good to see us compete with Vegas for sure.
For sure.
Uh,
I
tell
hate that they're
me,
still fucking good though. They're
yeah,
still so fast and so good, and I don't know how they do it, but
they just are locked in always. You know, the only question mark they might have is like
when Mark
rolling
Stone's gonna
four
get hurt.
lines when Mark Stone gets hurt. If are they going to be able to run 4 lines in the playoffs? And is Aiden Hill going to hold up? Probably like their top 3 questions.
No.
Tell me who the Blues MVP of the road trip was for you for the first
So
3 games.
I kind of have 2 here. It's hard to pick. First one, Benner, keeping us in games every single night, playing out of his mind. Yes, he's given up some weird goals, but we don't win Seattle without him. We stay in the Vegas game with him. 1-1, I get it. Save percentages and all that great. He is showing that he is going to be in the Vezina conversation. If we get the defense in front of him working a little bit better and a little more back checking, we're set. He should be talked about. He's not doing his antics. He's locked in and just stopping pucks, and I love it. So, Benner, number 1. Number 2, Broberg, stepping up, and I think it's made Falk look better. So, Broberg making plays with his feet, making plays with his stick, contributing offensively. I think he's got points in all 3 games. So, I'll take a point per game defenseman right now. And Edmonton is losing their fucking mind right now over this because they could use him right now, clearly. So, Benner and Broberg, those are my 2. I'm going with it. Co-MVPs of this road trip.
I can't argue either of them. Bennington is always going to keep us in these games. Always.
Oh, yeah.
Numbers for a goaltender are important, right? But no one really understands how important Benner is to the Blues compared to like any other team.
Yeah.
Like he is the difference maker, honestly. And I agree that Broberg is like Edmonton's begging for him to come back. You know, they wish he never left, which is so fucking funny. I had Jordan Kyrou as my MVP.
Great choice.
He's just looked like a superstar should, which is everything we need from him this year. We mentioned it before that he is a main reason that we're going to make the playoffs as long as he stays consistent. Keep building that chemistry with Bush and whoever you're playing with, Dylan Holloway, if he drops down. Just stay consistent, gain that chemistry with everybody. Dude, he might be a point per game player this year. Crazy. He's looked so good. My honorable mentions were both Broberg and Falk. The pairing together has looked fantastic. They are great offensive defensemen, and they still get back and break up plays and fight in the corners and stuff and make north plays. And that is, like I've said a gazillion times now, is my favorite thing about a good defenseman, making the simple plays. Tell me who you think needs to be better, though.
So I think I'm going to kind of jump here and connect some areas. So
okay,
we have Saad coming back. I think Saad should be back for the home opener. With that, apparently Sonny could be ready by Saturday. Okay. So Cappy has to be better. If Cappy wants to stay in the lineup, he has to be better. Also, I think Bolduc has to be better. Bolduc's got to capitalize on some chances. Because right now, when those two come back, you have some big decisions to be made. So that means Bolduc's for sure going down. Because if he's not playing, he's not staying up here. He can go down, play first line, play every scenario. So Bolduc's gone. Cappy, I think, sits on he's scratched. Because Walker's not coming out. Walker is solidified on that 4th line. Next question is, Scott Perunovich, is he sent down? Is he traded? He's gone. P.O., they picked P.O. over Scott. P.O. is the better choice. P.O. has solidified the 7th defenseman rule. Potentially your 6th man, with Kessel being that border player. So, Cappy's got to be better. He had a great preseason. I think he will be able to come in and out of your lineup. He will be able to fill in a pinch. He's not a liability, but he's not anything great either. Like, he knows where he is in his career right now, and I hate it for him that it's kind of gone downhill. But Cappy is that borderline player that can sit in your press box, but also if he gets in, maybe he can light some fire occasionally. But I think for me, Cappy has to get better if he wants to stay on this team, because I don't think a Walker comes out for a Kapanen. And I find it hard to believe they're going to pick Bolduc over Kapanen right now, too. So, Cappy, you're probably the odd man out, and we'll see what happens. I think by Saturday or Sunday, we're going to have a clear picture of this roster and who's staying.
I agree with you. Kapanen looked so good in the preseason game I went to. Like him, Shen, and Joseph were the best line in the game by far. And now that it's the regular season, he's just gone missing again, and I hate to see it. Genuinely, he was a good player. I think he can still get up there and be a good player.
Mhm.
I saw it in the preseason live. It's just I don't know if he feels discouraged or what, but it's a job, man. You got to do your job. Hopefully, he can pick it up. I agree that Bolduc needs to get sent down because it's kind of just a jumpy lineup right now. And of course, when Saad comes back, that's like your consistent 20 goal scorer on the third line. He has to play. So, and he gets paid way more money. So he won't not be in the lineup. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. Kapanen, step it up, big boy. I have Nick Leddy. You mentioned him. He looks awful.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I want to make it not sound, but it's bad, buddy. And we have defended you and we like you, but this is bad.
I love him. It's the first 3 games he's just looked really bad. Slow. He's not really checking as much in the corners. His passing has been a little bit off, which is never the case for him. And then his positioning is just brutal. Like that's like I said, it's the main reason we got 2 on us against San Jose, and luckily we came back. But yeah, he just looks off right now, and I think it's bringing Parayko down, as you mentioned, which is never good. That is our guy. Like when Parayko's feeling more weight, that's not good. He needs somebody like a Bouwmeester or like an old type of Bouwmeester player, which Leddy can obviously be. He just needs to step it up a little bit. Maybe he's just slowing down, which is fine, but he can find his legs. He's a great skater. Great puck mover. Like, pick it up, Leds. I almost think that Folk and Broberg need to be your top pair for this home opener. Just play them more. It doesn't mean that that you're breaking up the pairing or anything. Just play them more than Parayko and Leds. Or if you want Parayko out there more, just put Broberg on that first pair and make the Minnesota boys play with each other, which is fine. Like we've done it before. Just I don't want Leds to bring down Falk. It might be a chain reaction. So who knows? I just think that Falk and Broberg need more minutes, 100%. Like Leddy he averaged like 25 minutes last game, and I was like, that's not good.
No,
you can't be your highest time on ice defenseman out of all the guys we have. Fuck no. So, Leds, love you, bud. Pick it up. Pick it up.
It'll work out. It really will. Leddy's a seasoned veteran. He'll figure it out. We're not here saying it's time to go. I think the one thing I will say is this team is probably one premier defenseman away from being a superstar team again. So I think either Theo Lindstein or Buchinger could really help this team go into the future.
Yeah, and that's where we've talked about it like earlier on in an episode or two, I'm sure, where we were previewing the Blues season. Just like our prospect pool is amazing. Just shit, in a couple of years we might be competing. Like, you never know. We might be like a Utah. So, all right, let's move on to our last topic. We're going to preview. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention the record.
Yeah.
Our predictions. I'm an idiot. Let me pull my phone out. What am I doing?
We're good.
Let's see. So you said the Jets beat the Wild, and we both picked the Wild, right?
Yeah.
Shoot. And then the other games are still going on, right?
Yeah. So
okay. So Josh, you are 18-17. That's pretty good.
I'll bet 500. That's fine.
That's pretty good. Me, I am 18-17.
Oh yeah.
Even though we had some mixture, we just flip-flopped. It's crazy. Like,
It's
wow,
a weird beginning to the season.
Who would have thought? And there's 3 more games tonight. That'll be updated the next time you hear from us. But right now, Josh and I are tied 18-17 after the Jets pulled off a crazy OT win against the Wild, which is, who would have thought, man? The Jets are 3-0. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought? I mean, Utah and the Jets. What the hell?
Let's go. Let's go, Utah. Fuck it. All right, let's preview the home opener. It is currently 10:13 when we're recording, so you'll hear this the day before Monday, 10:14. We play on 10:15. Let's run through the current stats of both teams, the Wild and, of course, the St. Louis Blues. For Minnesota, their record is now 1-0-2, and their leading point player is Matt Boldy. Our notes say 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. Did he score tonight?
He did not.
He did not.
And he did not get on the... Nope. Rossi got an assist and Middleton with their goal. Good Lord. If Middleton's scoring, you got a bad game.
Yeah, it was a seeing eye shot. I saw it. It was just a ripper from the point that found the way. But yes, Matt Boldy, and I mentioned Matt Boldy earlier. He looks amazing. He is a step ahead of everybody right now, and he's a big boy too. Like, he's a player to watch. Honestly, Minnesota's got some great young talent too. Their goaltending is kind of, and their defense is kind of too. But let's see here. Oh, injuries that were announced today. Spurgeon is day to day. He didn't play tonight. That's their captain, which we mentioned kind of sucks to see for any team. Joel Eriksson Ek got his nose broke last game. He didn't play tonight, but he's coming in on the home opener they announced, which is huge for them. Low-key,
he's a stud. He really is. Yeah.
Low-key great player for the Wild. Their power play percentage is 4th in the league. Their PK is 26th in the league. Yikes. 11th in the league in faceoffs with a 52%. Goals for 11th in the league. Goals against 10th in the league. So they're around the top 10 in those stats, which is pretty nice for a team that's kind of on the bubble.
I'll kind of segue us to the Blues here.
Yeah.
So power play 8th in the league at 33.3%. PK is 17th in the league, which not bad. Faceoffs 3rd in the league, 56. Thank you, Steve Ott. And that is with a new center in Buchnevich. So there you go, fans. Goals for 3.67, which is 10th in the league, and goals against 15th, 3.33. So right in the middle to upper middle. I'm not upset about it. Faceoffs, thank God. We needed that. That was our bread and butter a couple years ago. Finally have it back. So thank you, Steve Ott. We love you.
I think a lot of that is Braden Chen playing center too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's an automatic 50%, 50+% guy. And then obviously Bush winning his faceoffs is huge, man. So, and of course, Robert Thomas is like, he's going to win 75%. Love to see those stats. We are currently 2-1. As we mentioned, great road trip. Coming back home, cannot wait. Our goals leader is Bushy. He's got 3, baby. Kairu's got 4 assists. Love that. And Kairu also has 6 points leading the team. The one weird thing is we don't see Robert Thomas's name here. He kind of did lose an asset or two, having Bush at center and Kairu playing on that Bushy line. Now he's got to fill in with some new faces, which is okay. Just we're hoping that somebody can score a goal for him because we know that he's a 100-point player just like Kairu.
Would not be surprised if a Brandon Saad maybe slides up where the Dylan Holloway is, and I think Dylan Holloway is able to drop down, give you a little more goal stability on that first line.
Agreed. 100% agree. If Saad is playing with Robert Thomas, he could score fucking 40.
Yeah.
For all we know, because he is a sniper. So I would love to see that personally. And that gives Holloway a little bit of grit on that third line with Schenner.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Cappy comes out, and you have Matthew Joseph, Schenner, and Holloway.
I love it.
Speed.
I love it. Speaking of Saad, he is coming back for this home opener.
I believe so. I think last thing I saw, he should be back, unless something comes up, and if not, then it's just one more game. But I really think Saad will be at the home opener.
Yeah, and like you said, that probably drops Bolduc out. And then depending on what happens, Cappy eventually or as well. I don't know. Maybe my mind is kind of pushing towards rolling 7D.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think they really believe Scotty is the guy. He would have played on this road trip.
True.
Kessel came out and you played Pio over Scotty.
True. So yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
And I loved Pio in that game. Yes, he had one play where his back was facing the wrong way for that goal against, but he looked solid up in the play, pushing the puck, holding the blue line. I mean, for a seventh defenseman, I love it.
Yeah.
So
I love a dude who's massive and he's a big boy.
Huge.
So anybody that gets sticks in lanes is just so huge. Like, people don't realize those little things that Pareko does. Like, he's so long that he prevents so many shots on net for Binnington. Like, as long as he's moving his feet, he's stopping so many pucks, and no one really notices that, obviously. I don't know. What do you think? Like, how do we match up with Minnesota? Do you think we have an advantage? Do you think maybe it's almost dead even? I don't know.
So I think goalie goes to us.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I think they have the better defense. And then it's a push for forwards. I think we can roll four lines more than they can. But a lot is going to come down to, can we shut down Matt Boldy? If we can, we're in this game through the end. And whoever's in it, I'm assuming Fleury gets the game against us, but we shall see.
I agree. I think the defense is more even, though. I think it's a push we win goaltender, if anything. I'm surprised that they're 10th in the league in goals against so far. I would have thought they're where we are in 15th, and then we're even lower. But shit, there's some bad teams so far this year. Yeah. And you forgot to name the biggest superstar that's going to be in this game, which is Kirill Kaprizov. This kid dominates us. If we can't stop him on top of Boldy, then we are royally fucked. And Binnington's going to have to show out, as always. Yeah. This is his game. It's the home opener. Everyone's going to be loud. This is his game to throw Minnesota back into the dirt where they need to be. I personally think that we win strictly because it's our first home game and Binnington carries. It's going to be really close. It's going to be a loose game. I honestly think we win like 4-3.
I was going to say, I think 4-3, and it's to the third period where we're deciding who wins this game.
Yeah, and I think we do the classic. We go down 3-2 going into the third. We come back.
Yep. Seems to be our style, and I hate it because it drives you nuts while watching the game. But maybe we can put together a full game. That'd be huge if they come out, dominate. We need to show a dominant game here. And I don't know if it's going to be against the Minnesota or this later in the week against Columbus, but you have to show up. So, big game. I'm looking forward to it. Mike and I are going to be down there early in the day. Getting a lot of coverage. Fully excited for this season and see where it goes.
Yeah. If you guys are going to be there on Tuesday, like Union Station or wherever, just like, and you recognize our face somehow, some way, come say hi. And we love you.
We love you guys.
Let us know what you think about the start of our season. You can email us. Our Gmail is in all of our social media bios. You can reply to any tweet and ask us a question and we'll reply. You can send us an Instagram DM, anything. Like, we're here for you. And we probably have the same opinion as you. We're a fan just like you. Seriously. Again, we appreciate you. Like, this was a quick episode. We just wanted to run through it real quick and then drop a bigger one after the first game. Or even just at the end of this week. We'll see. But again, Josh, we did it. 9 episodes of this stuff. We're hopefully going to get some significant people on here eventually. It's hard to get some credibility in this saturated market that they call podcasting, but trust me, you can trust us.
We're trying. We're going to get there. We're going to have some big names before this is all said and done, guys.
Yes, sir. All right, Josh. Sign us off.
All right.
Officially.
Thank you again, guys. And, we love doing this. And from Mike and I, we love you guys. And this is the 9th episode of the 5 Minute Major Podcast. See ya.
Let's go, Blues.